Hi Greedy 3Ds, today I'm going to be making Psylocke. This is everybody's favourite superhero and I've no idea why she is so popular, but anyway we're going to be painting her up today. If you want to see how I made and painted her and where I got her from and all that jazz, stay tuned. So here we have Betsy Braddock, the twin to Brian Braddock, who was Captain Britain, all printed on the Hagear's Ultracraft Reflex RS using their PAS 10 resin. A beautiful machine, a beautiful resin for a beautiful sculpt. And like any bit of 3D printing, I'm going to have to sand some of those nubbins off her. So I'm just getting some fine sandpaper and I'm going to sand it all away and keep her nice and clean. Fine sandpaper, make sure you wear a mask. Look at all that nasty dust that's flying around. Right, everything's been sanded. I've prepared everything for paint. So I've stuck little bits of metal in her and I'm going to stand her up and paint her in some Army Painter black primer. Now this model I got from a company called Corvinus Creations. Now they're a little bit different. They don't sell STL files, but they actually sell the 3D completed model. No paint, just the actual model all printed for you. So if you haven't got a printer, what a great way to get hold of your models. Make sure you check them out. I'm going to start painting her after she's been primed with that black with some fairy pink. This is sort of a base colour to put under skin to give it a little bit of a fleshy, blood running through fleshy tone. So all of the areas of her I'm going to give a coat. I don't want to go straight over the black on this occasion. I want to give her a nice pink undertone, and this is a great way to base your layers before we start messing around with skin tones. Female characters have quite smooth skin, so I'm going to move to Barbarian Flesh and I'm going to give her a complete layer over. The only place I won't be touching with the Barbarian Flesh is maybe just under the armpit or in the joint of the armpit, just where naturally the light wouldn't be getting in there, so that red tone will be, or that pinky tone will just poke out a little bit more. But I'm giving the rest of it a good old base layer before moving on to the Wildling Flesh. This is a higher colour in the Army Painter triad of colours. This is their highest one for the skin tones, and I'm just going to blast it all across, and I'm going to imagine I'm probably shining it down as to where the light would shine, like a zenithal if you will. So just from the top down to catch those mighty buttocks. I've given the top of her a bit of a coat as well, which she's not that colour to end with. Now just to protect that skin, I'm going to give her some varnish, just a real good spray of this, give it a good shake and a light coat, and she is done and dusted, ready for the paint job. And there she is, looking lovely. Now I took some of this Flesh Wash from Pro Acryl, and this is really good stuff, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to paint it into her eyes, into her nostrils, all around her face. I'm going to get a good old layer of this off, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sponge, a makeup sponge, I'm going to break it in half so I've got a bit of a rough edge to it, and I'm going to dab away and dab it off the majority of it. Anyway, that leaves some marks and pits and little blemishes in the skin that you can just about see on this image, which changes the skin colour just a little bit, takes away from that blandness of skin. I'm going to do exactly the same with all of her. Now women's skin compared to men's skin is always a little bit difficult to do. I think men's skin can be a bit more rugged and a little bit more colourful, whereas ladies' skin tends to be very smooth, very silky. So I'm going to do exactly the same with all of her. I'm not going to do too much to the skin because I just want those basic levels to come through. Kislev Flesh from Citadel is what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to use this as a dry brush, getting the majority of it off on a bit of kitchen roll and on my hand, and I'm just going to splatter it across her. I'm going to lather it on her, just nice and light, nice and loosely, but I want it to go all the way across her to just give those cheeks, the top of her nose, the top of her forehead, the top of her chin, just an even brighter colour to the base layer that's on there at the moment. And that's the kind of multiple layers of skin that we've all got. Skin isn't just one colour, it's lots of different layers, and I found this technique is really good at doing what I need it to. Of course I'm going to do the same with the rest of her skin, including her arms and especially on her body, and again on those mighty buttocks and the front of her thighs. They're going to have a bit of a shine up. Red tone next, which was an Army Painter quick shade, and the way you apply this is just get it on there into the eyes, nostrils, all around the lips, etc. And once it's on there, don't leave it to settle, don't leave it to stay on there. Get it straight off with a big raggedy brush and just blend it into the rest of her flesh. What I don't want to do is leave big red marks all over it, so I'm going to blend this red in Get it all over her in those places. If you need to put another layer on, that's absolutely fine, but get it off as quick as you're getting it on. I don't want it to stay on there and just look like a red line. I want to blend it in, I want to merge it in, and we're going to do exactly the same to the rest of the body. And I'm going to concentrate on the natural sort of curvatures and the grooves of the body, and the places where there would be a little bit of a darker tone, like especially in her here, where the groin meets the bottom of her clothing on each side. I'm going to go around the back as well. I just want to give it a little bit more of a colour. And again, 1 layer, 2 layers, depends on how many you want to do. Just make sure you blend it in and it doesn't look too obvious when it's sticking out. Now I'm taking some of this Vallejo purple and I'm going to dry brush this across her hair. I don't want to leave her hair black. I want to give it that kind of pinky purple kind of look. And once I've done this, I mixed it with a bit of white and I did the same again to lighten it. And then I took some of this Hive Dweller purple and I painted that over. This is the version 1 speed paint from Army Painter, and I've got to be honest, I've loved the version 1 speed paints, and you can get them for next to nothing if you can still find them. Version 2 are also excellent, but I've got some of these lying around, so I've used them, and these are great for the highlights looking higher, the lowlights looking darker. And I'm going to cover the whole of her hair in this speed paint, and that's her hair done and dusted. Now what I'm not going to show you is the whole painting of the face. I've done faces to death on other videos and I don't want to bore you with it. Check out my other videos, check out how to do the eyes and all that sort of stuff, and I'll put a link at the end where you can have a quick look at that. But that's her done. For the makeup on her, I just put a little bit of purple above her eyes for some eyeshadow and a little bit of blusher on her cheeks, a nice purple set of lips, and she is done. Now I've been sent these golden maple paints to test, and I've never used them before, and I've got to be honest, and I am really taken with these. These are really good at coverage. They're quite thick, they're acrylic, they're water based. You can use them in an airbrush, but I've got to be honest, I really like them, and their dark blue is perfect for Psylocke. What I did like about these especially was I'd already given her a white undercoat on the legs because I needed to lighten those up a little bit. This paint just goes on 1 coat and it's done. Now I did give it another coat, but technically I didn't have to because these paints go on so well. I normally use Army Painter of Vallejo, never used these before, and I am very impressed with them. Now if you want to get some, you want to try some, I'll put a link in the description where you can get them from, but I will definitely be using these going forward. I'm very pleased with them indeed, and I'll be using a couple of their other colours as well as I go through this video. There's a few tender, delicate bits on her arms to do. These were finicky, these were fiddly, these were time consuming, but that's the end result. I need to do a little bit of tidying up. A little bit of the flesh edges need to be tidied, a little bit of the blue edges need to be tidied, but look at that colour. It's absolutely solid. It's right across. That was 1 and a bit layers. I am so pleased with these paints. I'm going to use my ruby red now, exactly the same, these golden maple paints, and I'm going to paint her belt. What I did with the belt was I painted this all over, and then I took some red speed paint at the end just to liven it up a bit, just to put a bit of darkness into it and a bit of lightness into it. But of course I didn't catch that on film. This is just the red base layer down, but rest assured some Army Painter speed paint went over that as well. Now for the swords, black handles, I painted gold for the little sheathy bits and some chrome for the blades, and they were done. Little red diamonds were painted as well. Before taking some of the blue and some of the white, mixing it together and popping it onto a dry brush, what I wanted to do with her clothing was take away the monotonous of the blue. So with that base level of blue mixed with a bit of white, I've just dry brushed it all the way across. I've tried to concentrate again on the areas where the light would probably catch it a little bit more, on the front of her knees and her shins and on the front of a boot. But what you see is it's just going to take away that single tone of the blue without taking away from the fact that it is a lovely blue shade. I'm just highlighting it. Again, the same on her top half. Plenty of extenuation on any of those bits that stick out, making sure they catch the light. Before we move on to panel line, this is an ink. This is amazing stuff, and all I did with this was where I'd painted the little gold on the sheaths on her sword, I just touched it into the pattern there just to extenuate the pattern, and that's all I did, and that was the sword done. I mean, if you just look at the sword now, you can see those little red diamonds, the black on the sheath, the silver, the gold. It all looks wonderful. I even did her fingers a nice purple. Taking some silver, we're nearly done now. The base is a real simple colour. I've just dry brushed it. I love simple bases, and I kept this as simple as I could so we don't take away from Psylocke herself. Here she is.
Shadow dancer in the night, mind twisted in the fight. Blades of light cut through the dark. Psylocke leaves her mark. Telepathic force unleashed. Purple aura beckons peace. Ninja warrior with grace. No one keeps up with her pace. Psylocke's enigma, child of steel. Dreams so vivid, heart so real. Mind and body in control. Psylocke holds her role. From dark nights to city skies, power flows through her eyes. Balance kept with every move. To her rhythm we all groove.
Well, if you enjoyed that, and I hope you did, please subscribe to the channel. Please think about joining the Greedy 3D Patreon, and all the information you need will be down in the description down below, down where you leave your comments. And please do leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Is there anything you'd have done differently? I'd like to hear from you guys. A bit of feedback. Let me know what you think. Yeah, if you want to get hold of this model, then this particular model, all the details will be down below again in the description. Now, I don't think you can buy the STL file for this, but you can only buy the physical model. But don't worry, if you really want to get your hands on a Psylocke, and who wouldn't, there are shed loads of Psylocke models out there on Tinterweb STL files for you to buy. Just make sure you buy it from a legitimate purchaser. Don't just pay a couple of quid from Etsy and get a copy of it, because we're not doing the whole business any favours if we're buying cheap knockoffs. Make sure that your STL file is from a legitimate designer. That's my advice to you, and that's what I always try to do today. I hope you enjoyed that, Greedy 3Ds. Let me know what you think, and see you next time. Bye.